Hello, children. Welcome to Enjoy Stories. In this series, we will be reading one story every episode. This is a part of my effort to encourage children to take to reading and collect books. Wishing all the very best. Today, we will read the story The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, there was a handsome young prince who decided to get married. You must marry a real, genuine princess, the queen insisted. She must be beautiful, clever, charming, and kind. Nothing less will do, my son. Agreeing with his mother, the prince traveled all over the world to find the real princess. There were many princesses, but it was difficult to find out if they were real, genuine ones. None of them seemed perfect. There was always something about them that was not right. Some were too tall and some were too short. Others were too thin or too fat. Some were very old and some were very young. The prince was really disappointed. I just can't seem to find a real, genuine princess anywhere. He sighed as he began the long journey back to his kingdom. He would have liked very much to have a real princess as his bride, but when at last he returned home, he decided to give up the idea altogether. One dark night, a terrible storm came on. There was thunder and lightning, and the rain poured down in torrents. In spite of all this noise, the king heard a knock at the palace door. "Who can be there on a night like this?" said the queen as the king went to open the door. There was a young girl standing at the doorway. Her clothes were soaking and her shoes were spattered with mud. Rainwater ran down her face and her long golden hair were all wet and bedraggled. "Who are you?" the king asked her gently. "I am a princess. Please, may I come in?" she whimpered. "Princess or not, first come in by the fire and get warm," the king said, and led her into the great hall of his palace. When the prince saw her standing in firelight, he fell in love with her and wanted to marry her at once. However, the queen looked at the girl and frowned. "She can't be a real, genuine princess and look such a mess," she muttered to herself. "Well, we will soon find out that," she thought, but said nothing. The queen marched off towards the palace kitchen. From the store cupboard, she took one tiny dried pea and crept quietly up the back stairs into the guest room. There, she took off all the bedding of the bedstead and laid the pea there. She sent for all the maids in the palace and ordered in her sternest voice, "Bring me 20 mattresses from your linen cupboard at once and pile them up high on the bed. Then place 20 of your softest feather quilts on top of the 20 mattresses." The maids looked surprised, but were soon scurrying up and down the corridors, puffing and panting under the weight of the heavy mattresses. The pile of mattresses was so high that the maids could not reach them any more. So the queen ordered her page boys to bring long ladders. The maids then put the quilts on up the ladders, and at last the job was done and the queen was satisfied. While all this was going on, the princess had dried up from her soaking and was ready for bed. The queen led her to the guest room. The princess climbed up the ladder right to the top of the 20 mattresses and 20 quilts. She had to lie there all night. Next morning, the storm had passed. The wind had died down and the storm clouds had gone from the sky. Bright sunshine streamed in through the palace windows and it was a beautiful day. The princess, however, came down looking very pale and tired. The queen asked her, "Did you sleep well?" "Oh, very badly," said the princess. "I have scarcely closed my eyes all night. Heaven only knows what was there in the bed, but I was lying on something hard. I am black and blue all over my body." The queen was very happy, much to the surprise of others. She held the hand of the princess and led her to the guest room. She sent for her page boys and ordered them to remove the quilts and mattresses. One by one, the page boys took away the feather quilts and the mattresses. And there, lying right in the middle of the bed, was only one tiny dried pea. Only a real genuine princess could feel the tiny pea through the quilts and mattresses. No one else could be as sensitive as that, laughed the queen with delight. When the prince heard the story, he asked the princess to marry him, not because she had proved that she was a real genuine princess, but because he had fallen in love with her when he saw her. So the prince and princess were married and they lived happily ever after. Hope you all enjoyed watching this, children. Do subscribe to my channel and share it with your family and friends. Thank you, and we will meet again with another story.